Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm just done. 5 seconds. I'm gonna get to the 20-second mark and pause.
Okay. So, you told me that this is the first time you've played Bat.
Ever.
Okay. So,
Ever.
I
So,
mean,
gentlemen.
so just overall, how do you like this hero? Because,
When I'm playing with my boys, like I am here, I'm playing. Pretty much everybody on my team is my buddy, except for. Actually, I'm only playing with three. I thought Chuck was in this game. He's not. Which is sad because that guy's awesome. But anyway, Shika and Lobo, I'm not playing with. But This is an all pick. I believe my buddy Cookie randoms Bat. I don't think I picked Bat. I'm not too sure. Maybe I do.
alright, well,
Doesn't matter.
are you at 20?
Oh yeah, I'm at 20.
Alright, we're going to pause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 21, 22, 23. Okay, so this is your first time Bat, so obviously, I mean, the reason why I'm asking if you like the hero, because, like, I mean, this is going to be very hero specific, and if you don't like playing the hero, then I don't know how much of my advice you're going to appreciate, because you might just not play the hero again. But if
Yeah.
you do play the hero again, then, like, I mean, if you don't play the hero again, I can do more general mid-solo critique. If you do like
I've
playing the hero and
always
you want to play him again, then I'll do a lot more hero-centric critique.
I've always wanted to play Bat the because of the control you have once you're six. And it's just like you can just go and pick on somebody and be like, you're gonna die every 60 seconds or something. Like, I'm killing you right now. You know what I mean? When my shit's on cooldown, you're dead. Like you're gonna die. And that's like was my goal. As I was thinking that in my head with Bat, I'm like, I'm gonna sit on some kid. I mean, and that's what I'm.
Yeah,
Simple as that. And I feel like I've always been afraid to play Bat because he's one of those heroes, in my opinion. I may have mentioned this to you before. Was if your team doesn't know how to play with Bat, you're not going to do well because you're just going to drop a lasso and everybody's going to be like, okay, he can kill him by himself. Let's run away. You know what I mean? Or they're not going to focus him or anything like that. And it's just, I don't know, man. So I've never really tried to play him because I was afraid of my team not being able to back me up in pups. That's why I would play people who can make the impact themselves. You know?
yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, so did you like playing him?
I love
Should I do more
Oh,
hero
great.
centric?
It was great. No, no.
Okay, okay.
I,
I'll do more hero specific stuff rather than general mid lane stuff. Because
yeah.
if you don't like playing bad, then I won't give you as much bad tips.
Oh
But
no,
like
Bat was a lot of fun. Like
I could go on ages about bad. Like
I random Batrider. All right, there you go.
okay, so this is gonna be interesting because Barrier with random gold. I mean, I think the best hero with random gold personally is probably just like Quap with random because then you get a null talisman and then you win every lane.
Yeah, like when I get random gold quap, it's just like I type in chat. I'm like, you guys already lost. Like, just leave the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it Quap is. Quap is one of those heroes I find that like if you hit once you hit 8, you know you're sitting on like level 2 blink, level 4 scream, and like you hit at 1 point ultimate. You know, like this it's hard to deal with that, especially at like if he gets it quick, like that level 8 quick. If he gets a first blood in mid, like solo first blood or something, or an early haste rune or something like that, gets a level 4 kill, he's gonna get 8 quick, and that's level 4 scream plus alt, and you're gonna feel the hurt, man. You know what I mean? And,
Definitely. I'm just looking
yeah. Anyway,
because I'm looking at their lineup and I'm wondering how they're laning. Because Pudger's Bat is an abysmal. It's like one of the worst matchups in the game. It's like really really bad. So that might be why they're putting Pudge in a different lane, or maybe they just said to somebody. It's most likely this. They probably said, I can, I want to go mid, and then Pudge is just like, okay. But Bat versus a male hero, Bat like should own them.
I think they
for
go
free.
Naga, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, they do go Naga.
Yeah.
And you were actually late. This is actually very significant
Oh, because I was like,
Yeah,
I'm talking to my buddy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to play Bat. Give me BL.
yeah, I mean, it's sort of hard, but like you shouldn't be late to a lane because creep blocking in the mid lane is actually very important. And actually, I'll just go over that for a little bit. So, creep blocking in the middle lane obviously is very important because after the first wave, you will hit level 2 every time, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, if you're creep blocking, then the creeps have the potential to miss uphill. Your range creeps, or the opposing team's range creeps, can miss uphill.
Like
So
right
that means,
now,
yeah, that means you can clean up their creeps faster, and you'll hit level 2 before them. And when you get level 2 before them, then you can just immediately start crowd controlling them, bully them, get your presence going, because you have a level advantage and you have that second skill on your side. So, I mean, creep blocking in the mid lane is actually really, really important, just because of the mischance. And every time every time you could be losing lane, which I haven't really seen you do thus far, and I don't think you will lose this mid lane because this is like a really easy matchup, not even gonna lie. But every time you're losing lane, you just attack the hero or attack command, so you pull the creeps away, and if you're on the bottom of the hill, then the creeps can obviously, your creeps will miss up the hill, and the creep waves will push Saber to your own tower. And that doesn't really matter after you hit level 2. So missed chances in mid lane is really, really important. And that's why, mid lane is, it's interesting, but also a little bit random.
Yeah. That's actually a trick I use when I sometimes I play carry bottom and I'm up against like some range heroes. I'll actually A-click them to pull the creep wave and flip the creep wave so that their creeps are behind, are in front of my creeps, like facing me, so that it's easier for me to last hit without having to go around their creeps. But I hardly ever do that trick like in the mid lane, like pulling their creeps.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation, of course. In this lane, I don't think you have to, because this lane is... I don't know how... Well, I think you missed the first wave, so that's why Naga is slightly winning.
I get annoyed. I think during this match, I got really annoyed that I didn't have a rune coverage. Like, I didn't have a ward for rune. Especially, I think, because if Lich and Tree, like, they randomed. So it kind of really bothered me that they didn't buy, like... a ward, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So I dealt with it. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just stay in lane, pick up CS, catch up on some experience. And what really bothered me a lot about the Naga was the freaking splash, man.
Yeah,
like,
especially since she got random and she has the bottle first. The splash is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Just in general, like, this is sort of a hard matchup to analyze. I think you should win this lane, so I'm just going to go over more general bad stuff.
Yeah, sure, yeah, no problem.
I think the build you should be going is max Napalm by 7. Because Napalm will not only increase your soul damage, it increases the damage of all your things. It increases your damage of your physical hits, increases the damage of your flame break, increases the damage of your firefly, and it slows them, and it stacks. Yeah. So, when you think about it like that, if you manage to get like 2 points in Napalm, that's a level 2 stacks of Napalm with a level 2 Napalm, that is 1 extra skill point in firefly, and more damage for your right click. And Batrider has sort of an awkward attack animation, so having that bit of extra damage just to last hit for the Firefly, especially if you're not experienced, can be very useful, as Naga realizes, even with 1 stack, I mean, that was just, interesting. Also, something to keep in mind is that Batrider is a very, very aggressive mid, and you should always be... You should be diving, but it depends. Diving really depends on what the opposing team's doing. When
I wanted to dive, but that DD was scaring me. Like, I did not want to get netted.
You shouldn't be scared about the DD. You should be scared about the magic wand. And that's what I was going to go back to. The magic wand. The magic wand. That's the thing you should always watch out when you're a bat. Because you can dive them until they get a magic wand. I think you can dive at like 3 stacks. Even if you get 3 stacks Napalm, they're going to be slow enough and your Firefly will do enough damage, and you can just fly over the creeps and burn them to death. With a magic wand, it's a bit more tricky because the middle lane, of course, your tower is a bit closer, so you can tank a lot of damage for the tower. And with Naga, since she has an ensnare, she can keep you locked down next to the tower for a little bit longer. And if she magic wands up, you might die and she might live. So it's tricky to dive with Bat. And more often than not, if you find that you can't get a dive off if you can't really get a dive off, then you should probably start saving mana for 4. And it's just... I mean, this is just such an interesting hero to me, because I can just go on and on. But Bat is one of the heroes that you might not always want to get ball first mid. I think depending on the matchups, you might want to get boots first, because Bat has naturally low base movement speed. And you can see, Naga with her boots outspeeds you by 30.
Yeah.
So if you actually... Because you did random it, so you've got the bottle with your extra gold. But I think even if you do random, the best build is just to get some branches, a set of tangos, and a salve, because barrier spells are quite cheap in terms of mana, and you're naturally very, very tanky, because you're going to go in for the kill, but she pops haste, and suddenly everything's bad. But in a matchup where the other team either has a big range advantage, because barrier doesn't have the best range, where it's like either a quap or a puck or anything like that, if you're not getting harassed too much and you don't really need the bottle, or the other person has a high move speed, like say an OD or Skywrath who has higher average base move speed but not the best range, but is still kind of annoying in the lane to deal with.
That's right.
You want to get the boots first.
Yeah.
Assuming, of course, you're not getting harassed. If you are getting harassed, then you get the ball first and you play passively until 6. If you are not getting harassed, Then you get the boots first, and then you can go super aggressive. But if you are getting harassed quite a bit, then you just buy your time to level 6.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the big reasons why I grabbed Firefly at level 4 was because I was like looking at like the damage difference, and like it makes more sense to get Sticky Napalm, but I noticed that like on level 4 it doubles, like the damage like doubles on 2 points in what is it, Firefly. So I was like, do I get an extra 15? But then the Napalm does it for everything, like your auto attacks and I guess your spells and stuff too, right? So
The slow is also very, very
also
important.
the slow, stacking slow. Like you get a 5 stack on that guy. It's 50% slow, pretty much, right? So yeah, you're correct. Yeah, it does make more sense. I'll try that next time, because I like playing mobile ganking heroes. Like that's my big thing. Like I want to play guys who can gank and help control the flow of the game. And I think this. I don't know. I didn't repick Bat because I was like, I know Bat, like what he can do, and I had a PL, so I was like, you know what? If I do my job, PL's gonna do his job later on.
Yeah, and just to sort of go back to an related situation, this doesn't really apply, but one thing you can do with the bat is if you know you're not going to kill, of course, in a situation where you're getting harassed a bit and you know you can't really get a kill till 6, once you start reaching that 5 level mark, you can start stacking napalms. And with the lasso, it's a different story. As long as you get at least 3 stacks in most situations, 3 stacks is enough. And then you pop the lasso, and then you drag them back with the firefly. And keep in mind, while you're dragging, you can also cast napalm while you're dragging. So you drag, you cast your napalm, and then you drag some more. And of course, the napalm duration alone is not that significant. But everyday damage does help, and that is something you should do. In pro games, of course, it's not going to apply because people know how to deal with that. In public games, more often than not, if you're level 6 and you're not getting a kill with your first lasso, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, true.
And I think a lot of it is just coming down to a lack of experience, because it's kind of evident that you're very unfamiliar with this hero.
Oh yeah, like I don't. It's the first time I ever played this hero.
But you're ball crowing.
I know. Yeah, I know that I have to do it. I just don't know. It's not a common thing I do on all my heroes. You know what I mean? Like if I play Magnus, I do it all the time. If I play somebody else, I do it all the time. But sometimes I just don't always do it. You know what I mean? And I should probably do it more often if I'm mid, just ball crow all day and just spam. I think it's actually funny because I think with I haven't played Quap in so long that it's good that you remind me about bottle crowing, because I think if the next time I play Quap, I might have actually forgotten to bottle crow. I just go back to my old Quap playing habits. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, your invisibility rune's about to time out, and if you think you're at the tower, then you just pop the Firefly because it gives you flying vision.
Yeah.
And it's nighttime, so they won't get immediately the vision, and Firefly gives you a ridiculous vision that it's actually bugged. So right now you're Fireflying, and you're going to catch them because you see and they don't, and you get the fly, you get the napalm stacks, he's stacked while you're fire or lassoing, so good. So, I mean, you played that pretty well.
Yeah, I try and do stuff. I don't know. I just honestly thought, okay, I got him. I'm just gonna spam my spells.
Like, there's really not much you can say after that.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to go back with the bat. This is really depends on the player's preference, but this is just me personally, because I think I play public games. Obviously, I don't play in a pro scene or anything like that. I play public games. So what I like to do is bottle boots or boots bottle, depending on the order. As you're taking a lot of damage, you're gonna get mana leaked. I think you might be boned. No, you're gonna be okay. Tree armor and the strength treads. But when I said boots bottle wand and then blink, or you can get boots, upgrade the boots, bottle wand, and blink. Because Batrider, since you're diving a lot, you're naturally going to take more damage. And I feel like wand is very essential in terms of letting you survive. Because if you're not surviving in ganks, then you could be losing gold to the tower, you could be dying. But wand gives you a little bit of extra safety net. And obviously, if depending on the level of coordination on your team, you might not even need the wand because your team will just be there and you're going to hit the kill so much faster. But in public games, I feel like I personally need the wand just to make sure that my dives, when I dive, I don't die, because I don't want to die with the bat, because you want to get the blink dagger up ASAP.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I normally almost always buy 2 to 3 GG branches at the start of a game, but I don't always buy the wand. Which is kind of weird because I'm buying pretty much half the wand at the start of the game. and I could just get it later on. Like I could have a wand right now. I have 700G. I could have just picked up a wand and started going again. But yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point to make.
Also with the bat, like this is gonna be just a
Say what you gotta say, man. Yeah.
soliloquy about bat in general. Bat, it depends on the boots. Sometimes Tranquil could be a good option because the bat doesn't have the best armor, and you're gonna dive, so that bit of extra armor that the ring of protection does give you is significant. And since bat, his spells are really not that mana intensive, so if you're obviously not going to be using too much mana unless you're stacking like crazy, which could be happening. You know, it depends on how you play, but as you're going to just get a lasso, you're doing the napalm stack, you're dragging him. Well, you weren't dragging, you were just staying there, but I mean, you were going to get the kill regardless, I think. But anyways, back to Tranquil Boots. If you're not really using that much mana, you can get the Tranquil Boots and, you know, get a bit more extra HP. But it really depends because the slowdown effect of Tranquil is quite detrimental. So it depends on the game. I definitely don't think Treads is a bad choice, but I think Tranquils could be better because the Ring of Protection lane is very significant. And in this lane, it wasn't so significant because you're playing against a melee hero. If you're playing against a Quap or a Puck, you will be harassed back.
Yeah. I think the main reason I got Treads was because I just wanted to play safe. I just want a little more HP. Like I get the whole armor thing, how armor can turn into like effective HP, and I think I don't know, I think it's 3 armor on Tranquil or something. It might turn out to be more health than the Treads as the game goes on. But yeah, no, I felt more comfortable with Treads.
Yeah, that's just
yeah.
something to keep in mind.
Yeah, maybe because I was like, I don't want to be no screw bat fanboy. I'm going Treads.
Yeah,
no Tranquils. But yeah, I also felt I got my blink late. I don't know. I felt like
it's actually getting to the point where, you know, you should be close to your blink, and a lot of that is, again, you're sort of finding yourself in a sticky situation as a mid hero that you want to run around and help your team and help fights, and you know, that's all well and good, and Barra can definitely do stuff without the lasso, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, with Bat, I feel like if you use the lasso and you're not doing too much afterwards, you should just go back to the lane and start farming up, because Bat is kind of hard to kill because you can fly over cliffs and shit. And, you know, lasso at level 1 does have one cooldown, it's 90 seconds. And if you're not getting a kill, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And this is going to be another tip for Bat, as you're just wrecking face. Like, you're playing these team fights as Bat should. You're running around, causing a lot of havoc, burning a lot of trees, and casting a lot of shit.
I tell you,
so, like,
trees down, man.
I know, seriously.
Yeah. No, like, that fight, I actually thought, like, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, they got us pinned, and I think they took out Lich, and then I was like, okay, I don't know if we can do this, but then I realized that they're running to our tower, like, they want us dead, they come for blood, and my buddy had tree ult, so it was rather delicious. So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, it's kind of lucky that you are doing so well, because your dagger would be, well, it's not really lucky, but it's good that you guys are doing so well, because if you weren't doing well, then your dagger would probably come around. Like, this is probably the latest you should think about getting a feasible dagger. Or,
yeah.
Like, I mean, at a certain point, the supports will get tanky enough that they can survive your initial onslaught, and their nukes will be high leveled enough that they can actually kill you, even though you're naturally quite tanky. And you got a little bit of buffer zone because of the tread, so it doesn't really matter if you get a little bit of a later dagger. But sometimes, you know, the sooner you get the dagger, of course, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
So one thing you can also do is just Firefly in the jungle, because you can just cut down the trees and just own everything very, very easily. You can kill all of these neutral camps. You can kill out stacks super quickly of neutrals with just get like 2 stacks, pop the Firefly, fly around the creep camps, and you get easy 300, 400 gold, and Firefly cools down in about 20 seconds after the Firefly duration is finished. So that's something else. That will always give you safe. That'll give you safe farm if you want somebody to go to middle lane and get, you know, a bit more experience, but can't really farm the jungle, or the middle lane might not be safe or something like that.
No, you made a good point about the whole Treads Tranquil things earlier. I just thought about it, and it's like I would have got my blink like 500 gold sooner, pretty much. And I probably would have had it like 2 or 3 minutes ago, because there was a point in time where I was sitting on like 1,500 gold for like a good couple minutes, and I could have had a blink there. You know, maybe maybe Lich didn't have to die. You know, you never know, right? But yeah, it's good. It's good to make these comparisons. But yeah, I never really thought of Bat in like that sense. You know, like the whole thing
Yeah,
about
I mean, he's such an aggressive hero, but you do need farm.
yeah,
So also a delicate balance. Not as much because he's very very powerful. Obviously, I mean, like in a team fight, you sort of really know what to do. And being a first time bat, you're playing the team fights as well as you could hope to do. Like there's
yeah,
really
like
not too much. Like I mean, you're using flame rate to push people back. Something else to go over in regards to skill build and stuff like that. I prefer this skill build because in public games people run over Firefly a bit more and you can drag them. Sometimes other games people want to max flame break. It really depends on the preference. I like this build myself, but if you want a bit of extra burst damage, if you're perhaps playing the jungle bat, then do you want me to talk about jungle bat or not really?
well, yeah. It's just I just wanted to make a comment. Like, for me, I looked at flame break as utility. I was not looking for flame break for burst. Like I just want utility. I'm gonna play my guys utility, and I'm gonna let the other guys do the damage in their sit. Cause like, look, we have Treant and Lich synergy. We have a PL and Weaver, so like they can do the damage. I don't like if these guys want to sit on my Firefly. Go ahead, be retarded
Yeah,
on
and
my Firefly.
and I do prefer this build myself.
Yeah, but yeah, jungle bat because I would actually like to try a jungle bat one of these days.
So
'Cause
jungle
I've seen it
bat,
viable.
yeah, jungle bat is really good. So what you do is you stack the small camp, you get Firefly first, of course.
Yeah.
You burn through these creeps very, very easily. You get your second point in napalm, and you stack the big camp whenever possible. And every time you stack the big camp, you clear out the small camp afterwards, and then you get 5 or 6 stacks of napalm onto the big camp. And you clear out that immense stack, and that will give you like almost level 6 once you get enough stacks. You should get level 6 around 6 minutes in, which is really, really good, which is why Batrider is so versatile. Also, with the jungle bat, you can do a different skill build. You can max Firefly, you can also max Flame Break. You really don't need that many points in Napalm because you're not going to be using it that much. And Napalm outside the laning phase does lose a lot of its relevance. But, I mean, it's pretty straightforward in most people's eyes. It's like jungle bat, you just stack the small camp, or you kill the small camp, or you stack it. You stack the big camp every single time possible. And if you're doing it right, you should get level 6 at around 6 minutes in. You get your tranquils. You might not even need you definitely won't need the wand because you're in the jungle. You might not need a bottle. You could use a bottle. It doesn't matter. But jungle bat, you do get a faster dagger, but you do lose a lot of your lane presence. And Batrider is a really strong laner in general. So, I mean, it's always a trade-off.
Yeah. Like as a jungle bat, would it be good to just like rush blink? Like if you have that kind of
definitely.
farm,
You should
like,
always rush blink with bat because you don't need those laning items like bottle, wand. You definitely don't need wand because you're not laning.
Yeah, finish the boots after the blink, right?
No, you can. Well, I mean, you can get brown boots. You don't need to get upgraded boots. If you're not getting bottle, it might be better to get the tranquil boots. If you are getting bottle, then you just get the brown boots.
Yeah. No, like as you're saying all these things more and more, I'm just thinking like, man, if I didn't get bottle and I just went like brown boots, like I would have had blink at like 9 minutes.
I mean, bottle was a necessity in this game because you're mid, and mid should have a bottle. I mean, like your build is solid.
Okay. Yeah, because I like the thing is like I just go like what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, even the treads didn't really make much of a difference. There are just points in the game that you really were not doing much, which is sort of a recurring theme. Like there are points in the game where I think like you don't really produce that much action, even though you're playing these dynamic heroes. So that's just game sense.
That's why I felt like because I was at this point where it's like, you know what, like I need to be looked. I need someone to look at this because like I honestly feel like, what am I doing wrong? It's like I feel like I should be winning. These
It's like
so
I have a good score. Like I win the lane for the most part, but we're not doing it as well as we should, and that's because a lot of the time there are points of inactivity. So
yeah, no, that's definitely right. Because I think like when I look at the lanes and I'm like, oh, okay, they're sitting on their tower, and I'm like, man, my buddies are not gonna want to dive. Like, and I just think to myself, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna do what I can, and I wait for someone to come into my vision or like leave the lane, and then I'm like, okay, where is this guy? Let's go find him. You know what I mean? But it's funny. Like you're probably gonna pick on me too this one too, because I don't want to spoil it, but I gotta say this because it's been bothering me since I'm thinking about this game. That you were gonna look at this game was I got a Force Staff.
Force Staff on bat is really great.
I know, but I think I used it once. like the
Oh,
entire game.
I mean, that's also experience. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously realize that force staff is a problem. Like, I think for situations that you know the mistake, like, there's really not much for me to harp on. For situations that you don't really
Yeah.
like understand what's supposed to be happening, then obviously I'm gonna go into more detail. But like,
Yeah, you'll see
yeah,
it, and
I'll
you're
see
gonna say
it.
something. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm
But
not usually like that mean, but like,
no, no. See, I would rather someone be mean and be like how you said with the Shadow Fiend thing. You're trying to be nice about it. You should have just said like, bro, like you totally whipped though. Like you're a whip.
yeah.
Should
I
you go
mean,
balls deep and die, or you just don't, or run and try and stop the push. You know what I mean? But I prefer hard criticism than like passive. I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings because trying to not hurt my
I
feelings.
mean, no, I don't care about. I just don't usually. I'm not usually like that person. I don't really care if I hurt somebody's feelings, but I usually speak pretty mildly to begin with.
Yeah, true. Okay.
That's just
Right
me.
on, man. Right on, man. It's all good. But yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think Tree just like just threw himself to the wolves right there. Prophet's dead. That's such a satisfying feeling getting someone with that ult. Because you're just gonna watch the guy die. It's like they get to think the entire time they're lassoed for what, 4 seconds or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna die, and they can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's a really good ultimate. Batrider's a really good hero.
Yeah.
Something else. I mean, this is sort of in general.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not
Yeah.
not really based on this game, but something else you can do with Bat is even without Last, you can just blink in and use Flame Break to push people back. Flame Break
That's
positioning
scary, man.
Flame Break positioning comes with experience, but you can use Flame Break to spread people out. Flame Break to defend is really, really, really good. Like, it's one of the best defending spells in the game because it has such good range. Flame Break is overall a really good spell, and
I could have used it the entire time I was running away there. It was off cooldown the entire time.
yeah, I don't know if it would have saved you. I think they probably would have chased you. Actually, you might have been able to kill a Void, so maybe.
Yeah, like, or if I could use it on Prophet to like interrupt the Sprout, or just like force the Void, maybe he wouldn't have been in chrono range. You never know, right?
Yeah, or if like the Pudge actually bit you like a half second after. If you just cast a Flame Break, you'd push Pudge away, you might not bit you. So Flame Break recognition is very important, and also when you're chasing, you obviously want to put the Flame Break in front of the person as they're running away, so it pushes them back towards your team.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, that's just, practice of the skill.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because I want to try that, and I'm definitely going to take that into consideration. How you've actually mentioned this a couple times. It's like, yeah, you're playing these mid heroes that you can split push, you can do all these crazy ganks, but there's sometimes where you're just like, kind of like sitting there with your chin on your fist, being like, yo, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, with
You know?
that, like 'cause some situations, obviously, you can't do much. Like if you just go back to lane and you don't have lasso, in those sort of situations, you can say, all right, somebody go mid. I'm just gonna take the jungle because jungle is really easy, really fast CS and pretty safe farm. And
Yeah.
so jungle is a really, really viable option on Bat in particular. So usually when I play Bat, I do mid, I do some ganks, and whenever I'm not ganking, I go back to the jungle or go back to mid. And if somebody else wants mid, or if they're ganking somebody of a different lane, then you can just go to the jungle, obviously. Or
Yeah.
if nobody's mid and you want to stay mid and nobody else wants to go mid, you can just Firefly, push down the creeps, and apply a bit of pressure tower. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a ghetto Shadow Fiend. Like, you really can't push compared to a Shadow Fiend. Firefly lasts for, like, about 1 to 2 creeps, depending on when you kill the
Yeah.
creeps. So, pretty much you always get 1, and that's pretty much it. But, I mean, it's something.
Yeah. No, I think I think one of my mentalities too is like I'll get an item, like say like Blink on Bat or something, or like Shadow Blade on Shadow Fiend, and I'll be like, okay, I've got my item. Now I'm gonna go win the game. Like I don't think to try and get other items. Like before I was on my way top, I passed up like 12 creeps in the lane. I kind of just like, for some reason, put sticky napalm on them and then just
Yeah,
ran away. You know what
It's
I mean?
not really a big deal in this game, but
Yeah.
in games where, because even though Batrider is such a good hero, like his pub winning percentage is not that strong. Even his competitive win percentage is really, it's average. But like, he can't win a game completely by himself. Like he can control a game for 30 minutes by himself, which makes him so incredibly powerful. But he can't win the game for you in the late game.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
unless
right.
you have that backup DPS. Well, I mean, it's debatable, depending on your team. Like, in pro games, Barra can win the game for you, but, I mean, in pub games, like, if your team's not farming well, or if your team's getting ganked in different lanes while you're ganking another lane, then obviously every bit of time that you're not doing stuff means you could be farming, getting a bit more item advantage, and winning the game.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, it is what it is,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this is your first time playing it, and you're playing it pretty well, not gonna lie.
Well, I get what I have to do because like I watch a lot of tournaments and I take from like I don't just watch them because like yeah let's go watch IG or some guys, let's go watch these guys play, but it's like, you know, I want to see what they're doing, like I want to watch these little tricks, you know, things like that, like oh is this guy, like what is he trying to do, like I've actually baited out silencer ults by cast canceling like RP. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you blink in, like just blink in and like bait the RP, and then boom, silence, and it's like, oh what? Okay, he didn't RP, I caught it. Yeah, right. Silence is over. Team's RP skewered back to my tower. Dead. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? And I don't know. Like I want to say, okay, let's play bat, and I don't want to go tranquil, so I think I'm gonna die. But you know, I just try and do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that you went to the jungle when you were going back to base anyway, and you picked up the force staff with that bit of extra gold, and you obviously show that you know how to jungle with the bat. So like you cut down the trees, it's very easy with the bat. So you know,
Yeah.
good job.
It goes back to what I said earlier. Like I do like reactive learning. Like by the time it's like late game, I'll be doing the things I'm supposed to be doing like all the time. You know what I mean? Because like if I was doing that stuff all the time, I could have had like my sheep stick as well by the time the game was over. You know, I could have been like blink four staff sheep, and it's been like whatever. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now? I want to CC like three guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it's good
Okay.
that you pointed this out because I honestly felt like I was doing enough, but more I could have been doing.
So you have your force staff. We'll see if I can. I'm gonna start being a bitch. Blink in.
Yeah, no force staff. I'm
In,
feeling
in
like
this in this situation, like honestly, who would you force staff back into? Because Weaver's with the. I guess you could force staff towards her Lich. I mean, this was
well,
sort
just
of
to not die. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, you did die. I was just you know like
Because I died. I was like, just to not die, I could have just like blinked and forced back, and then
Yeah.
just like they would have like this wall of fire to walk through to get to me. You know what I mean?
yeah. I didn't even know you died. I was just like
Yeah, I died. I was like, oh, I should have forced stuff. I just bought it. And my buddy Eddie was ripping. He's playing the Phantom Lancer right now. He was ripping on me in Skype. He's like, yeah, you didn't force stuff. What's your problem? I was like, buddy, your Phantom Lancer at 28 minutes and you got nothing. Like, where's your
dang,
items?
the call out.
I
Say,
anyway,
man, I've been freeing up so much space for you. 3-3 and 8. God damn.
I know, right? Like, yeah, get out of here, man. No, I love the guy. I just,
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
You
But
guys,
anyway,
you guys are doing well. And in the end, it's just winning and having a good time.
yeah, beside the point. Yeah, this Weaver, I was happy about this Weaver. Like, he was doing work.
Yeah, this Weaver looks like he knows how to play a game. He's
Yeah.
using a lot of his mana. Lincoln Sphere could be an option, but I mean, he's not dying. He's obviously he picked up a Ghost Scepter, which is pretty sick item. Yeah, he's doing
I don't know
okay.
why he picked up the Ghost.
I mean, it makes sense against Void, but that doesn't matter against Chrome. Yeah, Ghost Scepter. You can Ghost Scepter out of net, so that's something you can do.
I think he was worried about like getting netted and then eating
Yeah,
like
the Naga net, of course, like reveals you while you're invisible, and I think if you're netted and you time ups, you're still stuck in place. Net is a weird mechanic.
Yeah, well, because it's not. It's one of those things that's like it breaks the immunities and it like does it. I don't know if it interrupts channeling. The net?
Yeah, net definitely interrupts in channeling.
Yeah, so it's like it's one of those. It's like almost not even a spell. It's almost like a game breaking ability. It just breaks the game and says, okay, you're sitting here.
Nice lasso, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I was watching Weaver for some reason. I don't know why.
I was like, oh man, you flame break so you can find out which one's the right one, and then you lasso an illusion.
I'm like when Anti-Mage was in huge favor at the beginning of Dota 2, I got into this like mindset where it's like it's drilled into my brain now that like I'm doing damage to their illusions with whatever I can to see who the real one is, because I do not want to burn like a lasso on an image and just get trolled in chat. You know what I mean? Just
The one time you sent me a replay, you happen to do that.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
Something else with Bat is if you want to keep brown boots, if you want to get a faster dagger, that's definitely an option, because Batrider is one of the best boots to travel carriers. because like he actually picks it up relatively quickly, and Boots of Travel is really good because it gives you so much move speed, and Batrider is slower than average base move speed, and you can teleport around the map, and at a certain point, it is like you said, every 60 seconds you can go for a gank, get a kill, and Boots of Travel, you don't have to buy it anymore. So Boots of Travel, I think, is a very, very good item on Bat. Me personally, and a lot of people like that as well. And if you manage to pick up a really fast stagger, you can get that fast Boots of Travel and just destroy people.
Yeah.
So that's another option for the Boots. If you just want to get that faster dagger and get that around like the 10-minute mark, 9-minute mark, I think the best optimal targeting with Batrider, or the best time you could possibly get, is like 8 minutes. But that's like, you know, you win the lane so hard, you get 1 or 2 kills, and you pick up the boots and the bottle. Like, that's very, very optimistic unless you're jungling. But I mean, I think Boots of Travel is a really good item on Bet. He definitely benefits from everything that it gives.
Yeah.
So that's another option.
In terms of being gank ready, is it faster for Bat in lane or in jungle to be gank ready? Like to start like putting pressure on the lanes?
I think it depends, because Batrider is such a good mid.
Okay, like what if he okay, let's just do jungle versus outright winning mid. You know
Winning mid, you'll be more gank ready because you'll have higher levels, and
okay.
you might not get the faster dagger, but you have all the other items, and you will have a higher level, and levels do matter with Bat.
Okay.
But
So,
if you're
like,
not like flat out winning lane, jungle could allow you to get safer ganks going, but in my opinion, Batrider is such a strong laner, and pubs in
Yeah, 'cause
general
I
don't
can
really.
hear your hesitation in like what
Yeah,
you're saying.
'cause
it's like lane
it's-
just seems so much better like all the time. You know what I mean?
I mean, it does depend, because like in situations where you can't really be aggressive, or if you've died once, then that's really going to keep you back, because if you die once with Bat, then it's really hard to get a kill. Especially against, you'll find this as you sort of approach higher and higher play, you'll find that people actually know how to play Bat. And this Naga had the right idea. She picked up a really fast magic wand, you know, she was spamming the spells, and she sort of took advantage of that. So, and if you have another mid hero that can make a really good impact, then, you know, can put Bat in jungle. You won't get as many levels, but you can get a safer Blink Dagger, and you can get probably a faster Blink Dagger, but then you might have to get the other core items instead. But in this sort of, you know, unorganized, like, a lot of people don't really know how to deal with Bat, and you can get kills in the lane, and if you get kills in the lane, that will accelerate your farm.
Oh no, like it's funny you mentioned that, because actually last week I played against a game against the Bat who knew how to play, and he had Blink I think 10 minutes, and because he went like I think he went brown boots into Blink, and it was not fun. Like we lost hard because it was literally like a 70-second gank. Like he had 70 seconds of breathing room before Bat showed up and hit somebody in the face. You know what I mean? And it was just like, oh, I don't like playing against Batriders that know how to play. Like this is not cool, man. It was not cool because their carry was mediocre at best, but this Bat just like gave them so much breathing room for the first 20 minutes that like by 30, game was over. You know what I mean? Yeah,
in general, the best things you can do against Bat, because, you know, he's a very, very powerful hero. Magic Wand, of course, is one. Wards, Rune Control, of course. All these things are really, really good. The best thing is to not stand the Firefly, which sounds kind of like duh. But people stand in the Firefly, which is a lot of DPS. I mean, if you look at it, even level 1 Firefly over its full duration is a ridiculous amount of damage. It's 360 damage over its full duration if you just get level 1 Firefly.
Yeah.
And try to focus him down. You try to gank him, because he is really... If you get to a point where he gets sort of a later Blink Dagger, he's not that tanky. He's not that tanky unless he gets a lot of levels very early on, and you sort of just overpower your opponents just on the back of his levels and his superior items and his stronger skills. But if you gank him once or twice, he really does fade off in terms of effectiveness. So there are ways to deal with Bat, but if you let a Bat go unchecked, then, you know, he's ridiculously powerful.
I definitely agree with that, because, you know, like if he's sitting on levels, like a lot of people, they misunderstand like the power of stats, like just the ability to have and levels gives you free stats, and it's like
2.4 strength growth is definitely really, really good for an initiator.
If Bat's sitting on over 1,000 health by the time he's starting to ganking, and everybody else is sitting on like 700, 800, maybe like 900, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do?
Or they don't have their max level nuke yet, so they can't even burst them down.
Exactly, right? And if they do, you're gonna have to deal with like 2 or 3 people, like 3 or 4 people are gonna burn your nukes on you to kill you, and then it's like, okay, they can't kill the rest of my team now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I definitely agree with that concept of getting a good start with Bat, and if you crush him early, he just gets like owned when he blinks. If he gets a blink even, or 4 steps in, lassos somebody, then he just gets owned because he's only at like 1,000 health at like 25 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yep. So this game, also in general, this is me personally. I think Shivas is good on Bat because you need the armor, and you always are going to be in the middle of everything, so you're going to get the active effect off, and the armor. So I think Shivas Hex is good. So
the attack speed's slow too, I'm sure, right?
I mean, so, nobody gives a fuck about that.
Nobody cares. Nobody gets Shivas for the attack speed slow.
Yeah.
Just for the armor,
Just for the armor.
I think people forgot that that's even there on the item, man, to be honest.
I mean, no, like, it matters a lot more in that.
Yes, just stop hitting the racks and knocking trees down. Oh, dude.
So, yeah, Bat. Also, something to point out, you didn't tread switch when you were bottling up. I saw it in the top lane, like, 10 minutes in. You were at 200 HP, you had 2 bottle chargers, you stay on strength trades. If you switch back to other trades, you would have ended up at around 450 HP instead of 350 HP, or no, 550 HP rather than 450 HP or something like that. So, trade switching, bottling, really important.
He did it at the end of the game.
Yeah, dude. Nice
4-staff pull at the end of the game. Oh, man. But yeah. No, yeah, it's good points. Yeah, no, they're definitely gonna think about it.
Because it really matters in mid lane. Good usage of bottle, because your mid lane is supposed to have a huge impact on the game, and you can't have a huge impact if you're always going back to base.
That's true, yeah. You know, it's a very good point you make. And the whole thing about, like, you know, okay, if there's nothing going on, just, like, instead of sitting in their jungle doing nothing, kill their camps. You know, like, if they're not coming in the jungle to look for you, why not kill their camps? You know, if you're on your way up, and there's, like, 12 creeps in mid, why just, like, clean them up, you know? It's 600, 700 gold. It's like, well, why are you just letting it sit there? And it's all that, it just seems like all that's going to add up. It's good points you're making for telling me that. Yeah, I appreciate that advice, because I definitely do find myself sitting there sometimes like, oh, what do I got to do? You know? So. Yeah.
Time is a resource, and Dota is a time-consuming game, so all those seconds you're not using up is like 2-3 minutes, and in a Dota game, those minutes do matter.
Yeah, I was a little sad there. I wanted to blink in and throw that.
Last time on 4-staff effort.
Yeah, game ended. I was like, oh, a little sad.
I mean, honestly, like I can't honestly believe that it's your first Bat game. Like you knew how to play him.
Well, I know, I can take what I see in replays and like tournament vids and like other people playing and what they do to me. I take that and I'm like, I have enough experience with the game that I have to restart again. That I can take that and use it myself. You know what I mean? Like, and I try to anyway. You know what I mean? And I try and use it myself and do it back to people. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
Like,
in the last game, it looks like it's a bit short, so we'll just go over it. I'll be at 30 seconds replay timer.
The Lifestealer game?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a sec. I gotta load this thing up. I don't know why it bugged out every time. It's kind of weird. But, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Might be a valid thing with TI.
Yeah, it's just weird. I can't see the my game list, but it doesn't matter. It'll load up in a second. It says no results, but whatever.
So you're not playing a mid hero with the random gold for once.
I know, right?
So just in general with mid heroes, when you don't random them, what do you start out with? Do you do bottle rush or do you?
I'm always bottle rush.
Okay, always bottle rush.
Always bottle rush, because when I play Invoker mid, if I ever do, I go Blades, Tangle, Branch, and then I go into Phase, Drums, Wand. Yeah, almost every time. Like I default that. Like there's some heroes that actually default build where sometimes I should what's it called? Judge it a bit better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You said you're at 30 seconds?
Yeah. Before we get into this, I just want to talk about that a little more. Ball Rush is always really good for the mid hero. But it does depend. Like in the Shopify game, I think I talked about Wraith Band because you're not going to be using Raise too much in the first 2 levels, and you need the base damage. And that Night Stalker really was not doing anything. Like, you shouldn't have gotten that many last hits.
He was a wimp.
Yeah.
I'm at 30 seconds, by the way.
Yeah. So one more thing with other heroes like Queen of Pain, Puck, the best way to win the lane is just to take control of it very early on, and you can't really do that if you are rushing a ball with 3 GG branches. This is why you see Pucks and Queen of Pain start with a Mantle of Intelligence, because it gives you that little bit of extra damage, and that little bit of extra damage does matter in last hitting, denying, and harassing. So this is why it does vary, and this is why you shouldn't always go bottle first.
Yeah, no,
And
it makes
even
that's
bat,
good.
like sometimes I go with Ring of Protection first because I want the armor. I go for 3 branches and go into Boots Rush,
Yeah.
like I mentioned earlier, and sometimes I go for Ball Rush. So you just want to sort of, because Dota, like, it's such a dynamic game. Like, everything is so situational, and there are really never 100% static builds, like, ever.
It's a good point you made out because too, like I was sitting in mid as bat, and I really didn't even try contesting the runes. I didn't do anything. So like, what did that bottle? Like, what did that bottle do for me? I never really was enough where I needed my bottle. You know what I mean? I could have gone tranquils and just healed up based off the tranquil.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
even
mean?
then, like,
Yeah.
if you got fast boots, then Naga would have been outsped, and then you could have diver. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tricky because she has a net, but like,
Yeah.
it
Anyways,
depends on
yeah.
the situation. All right, we'll
call.
get into it in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So, random carry. We'll see what you start out with.
Yeah.
You're gonna swap. Oh, dude, I love Pugna. Why don't you play Pugna?
No, dude. No, it's because I think that's my buddy. My buddy Chuck was playing. He got random to Lifestealer, and
I think Pugna's so fun.
I know. I like Pugna. I do. And whenever I play Pugna, I automatically like max Decrep, go Dagon. I don't do anything else. I just go Dagon, Decrep, just because I'm a boss like that.
Dang.
I don't know. But anyway, Pugna. Actually, I like Pugna's model from Dota 1 a lot better than this model. I
Yeah,
think
this
those
one
orange are
looks like a
stupid.
little bit fat and
little-
squat.
Yeah. And the big fireball is like the size of him. It's not some little puny little. I don't know. I don't like that. Anyway, but he randomed the Lifestealer, and then he knows I like Lifestealer, and he's just like, you know, I just play Lifestealer because he doesn't want to lose, and Chuck hates losing. But Chuck's my support buddy.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was a 4Q, I believe.
Yeah. So I
Or-
mean, this is like I saw you picked up a 3rd GG branch, then sold it because you realized like, what am I gonna do with extra stats? I need that extra salve. So
Yeah.
good. Like this is probably the best item build you can do with random gold. If you didn't get random gold, then you could probably drop the Quang Blade if you were, because he has pretty respectable base damage. But since you had to have random gold, that little bit of extra insurance does help. So
Yeah.
like it's good.
I got sold that GG branch because I was actually thinking because it almost always in pubs you get a 2-2-1-2 in the lanes.
Yep.
And that's why I did that. Like, that's the main reason why I did that. If I was going solo with if I knew I was going 1v1 against somebody, I probably wouldn't have done that. But you never know, right?
I think Lifestealer is like one of the only heroes I might not get Magic Wand on because you're not really like spamming shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I mean, it depends. So that's why I might not go with my 3rd GG branch. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely want both regen and the stout.
Well, it's just a cost-effective item, right? The GG
Yeah,
branch
yeah,
is your
yeah.
game.
But I always get it because I build into a wand every game. But I mean, in general, yeah, you know, cost effective. That's good.
The cost of this guy sounds too
Yeah.
Who is this guy saying cost-effective?
Yep.
Anyway.
So open wounds L1, good because dual lane Lifestealer. Do you ever jungle Lifestealer? I mean, lane Lifestealer.
I started Jungle Lifestealer. I used to and I would do things like choking. Like
Okay, so
choking
I
with
just wanted
jungling.
to I wanted to ask if you knew about that in general. But I think laning Lifestealer is better because you get more experience faster, more gold. I think laning Lifestealer is always better unless, you know, your team is just like, fuck you Lifestealer, go to the jungle.
Yeah. I was dude, honestly, dude, 85% of the time, I get that. Whenever if I pick Lifestealer, and it's like, what are you doing in the lane?
I mean,
Go to the jungle.
he's such a good laning carry. He's like,
And I'm like, you guys even know what open wounds is? Like, do you know what this spell is? You know what I mean? And it's just like, don't even talk to me right now. You go to the jungle. And I'm telling this like lich, go to the jungle, get out of my lane. You know what I mean? Like, just stop bothering me. But I was actually kind of happy this game that I was up against Lone Druid because I was just like, second harass me all day. I auto attack.
yeah, I was gonna mention this because this is actually a bit of criticism. Even though you might not think it is, because
Yeah.
what the fuck will Rage do to you to a Lone Druid at level 3? Like, what will Rage do for you? Honestly.
absolutely nothing. I saw my thing like I was actually thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like I got rage at level 2, and I'm like, I shouldn't have feast. Like, why? I don't know.
Because rage, you need it when Lundred hits level 5, because if you get entangled, you can pop the rage, and then you walk out.
Yeah.
If you had feast, you could hit the bear, and keep in mind it does based on percentage of the enemy's max HP rather than percentage of your damage. So you could steal a lot of the bear's HP.
That's
Every
right.
time you hit the bear, he's gonna lose a huge chunk. You probably hit him, even with level 1 feast, you probably hit him for 40, 50 extra life steal.
It's like 80.
Yeah, like 80 extra life steal, not counting the hit. Like, yeah, 80, you just saw. So, I mean, like, I think you recognize it. Like, Rage doesn't do anything for you at that level. I mean, obviously you want to have it before that 100 hits level 5, but...
Well, it's like I said before, sometimes with certain heroes, man, I just
You go into sort of like
some default.
You go into the flowchart mode.
Yeah, I just go into some default mode, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for a mid-game killing spree with Lifestealer, so I'm going to go, like, Rage into Feast, and I don't care. Like, I get 1 point in Feast, I'll be fine against this stupid bear. So, and what's he gonna do to me? I'm just gonna rage out and run away or try and kill him. You know what I mean? Because he's got low health, man. So, we'll see what happens.
Yep, going to work on the bear. If you had boots, you could probably kill him, but you don't have boots, and I don't think you can kill him. Oh, he has Orb Venom as well. Going to work. Not too sure why he popped the rage right there. He's an level 5. Get a bit of extra damage, I guess, and not get slowed by the Orb Venom. I don't know.
I mean,
like, if
it's like a default thing, right? Like, I just rage because I want the attacks.
I mean, if you didn't need the rage, you would have had enough mana for another open wounds.
Yeah.
And then you would have been able to kill him. So, like, you sort of have to get out of the mindset not to be in a flowchart.
Yeah, no, like, you're definitely right. Because looking at it in retrospect, like, he's staying in the lane. Like, he's still here. I could have easily open wounds him, and then he would have eaten another blast and probably died. You know, so. It's a good thing you pointed that out, because it seems like a common reoccurring trend in all these matches.
I mean, it happens to everybody, especially if you play a lot, but it is something you do have to take notice of, otherwise it's hard for you to improve on it if you can't recognize that you're doing it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but it's good that, because I see all this and I'm like, okay, now I know what to fix. So we're good to go.
Yep, second point to rage. I think that's fine. I mean, you're facing Disruptor, Warlock. Oh, how much? Honestly, it's only... I'm not too sure about the rage max. I mean, most games you do want to max rage. In this game, I don't know. I think it's still alright.
I wanted to max the rage just for uptime. I don't want to get glimpsed when I open up on somebody.
Yeah, that
I didn't want to get stunned, right? But the thing is, though, as I'm up against,
and I also forgot they have an axe in Battle Hunger. It's kind of really annoying.
The Warlock ult, so it's like I have taunt and the Warlock ult, so it's like I'm gonna get grabbed anyway by these.
But yeah, but I mean, Battle Hunger does a lot. Fail Bounce does a lot. It's Disruptor. Yeah. Like, if you can pop 34 Static Storm, that makes it kind of useless. So, yeah, I mean, like, I don't really disagree with this build.
You know what, man? I never even thought about that. Like, I wasn't even, like, looking at the fact that about, like, Hunger or, like, what's it called? Fatal Bonds and, like, maxing out Rage being beneficial so that I don't get, like, raped by that shit in the...
Yeah, I mean, like, Warlock's ultimate cools down every 165 seconds. What is he going to do for the other 165 seconds? He's going to Fatal Bond you and Shadow Word you and try to do what he can.
It really annoyed me that this kid got an Orb of Venom, like, before, like, right off the bat. I think he randomed that. I don't know what he did, but, like, the first thing, like, he hits me with the bear. First thing happens in lane, he hits me with the bear, and I'm like, I'm slow. I'm like, this guy got Orb of Venom, like, right away. Like, who is this guy? Like, what's he trying to, like, it bothered me a little bit. Like, I got a little thrown off, you know what I mean? But, yeah, like this bear, like, you're not even doing any damage to me. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, save the rage. Yeah, that's good. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, you could be a bit more aggressive because you have the phase boots. You can just go in, hit him a couple times, maybe force him to retreat. But I mean, like, this isn't really, that's something you could do. I don't know. It's the best thing you could do. Like, now that he has his ultimate, it is a bit harder, and you don't even have. Like, you don't have too many points in feast because you did get the point to rage, so maybe not. I'm not too sure. And with the ultimate, it's definitely a lot less effective because he gets a lot of armor, and feast, of course, is physical damage.
Lifestealer is one of my go-to guys. Not because he's a cheeseball, but I've always played Lifestealer even before, like, the huge rework.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
and that like he's one like I wanted to show this game not because it was like a stomp or anything, but more so because it was I want to be criticized on my Lifestealers as like if out of most of my characters out of my three top characters like Lifestealer, Invoker, and Nyx, I would love mass criticism on these heroes because like I've seen people outplay my style. Like they'll play in a game against me, and I feel like if I was up against them, they would have shut me down as Lifestealer. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm looking for the criticism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing you pointed out too about maxing for Feast versus Rage, because I definitely and especially activating the Rage, it's like I definitely could kill Lone Druid earlier with that second point in or if I waited for the mana.
If you just went on Disruptor, you probably would have killed him. Just saying.
Really?
Yeah, because
I honestly thought I was dead.
you had SK and you had full mana. You had Open Wounds, Rage, and you had the Stormbolt. Maybe SK was not in position. He didn't have Boot, so. But I think if you had the Open Wounds, because he's close enough that Open Wounds into Bolt would have been able to probably get the kill. I don't know if he would have survived till 100 afterwards, but Lifestealer in general, you should be playing pretty aggressively, especially if you get free farm early on, which you did. So like Lifestealer is a very aggressive carry, which is why he's very, very powerful.
Yeah, I never even thought.
And especially with the phase boots, like phase boots means that you're going aggressive. Treads is good, but treads also indicates that you want to go for more of a late game because it gives you that bit of attack speed, and getting that extra bit of attack speed does help. Phase boots means you want to get hero kills, and that's why pros get the phase drums build. They don't use the drums to save the drums charges. They use the drums every single time they possibly can just to chase.
Yeah.
And if they use all 4 drum charges in the span of 4 minutes, but they pick up 4 kills, that is so worth it.
Yeah, no, I definitely use drums on cooldown. Like I'm not afraid to use drum charges. Like 10%, the move speed and the attack speed is just so good. Like I don't know, I like drums. I think drums is one of those items. It's like, man, I'm happy they added this to Dota. You know, it just makes so many more heroes like more crazy, like more like scary. Like early on, if you can pick up fast drums, and the aura is awesome, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, sorry, I don't know. Like I feel nervous watching people play my Lifestealer because it's just I don't know. I really like this hero, and I don't know.
Yeah, he's like simple but complex at the same time, and he's very powerful.
Nuances. There's like nuances.
Yeah, he's simple and complex, but he's also really powerful, and he's sort of relatively easy to pick up, but it's hard to master him. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So right now you're hitting the bear, which is good because you're getting HP. You're draining the bear HP. You're waiting for a gank. You should just immediately rage the thing, and then he decrepified you, which is kind of annoying. But you're gonna get the kill regardless.
He's trying to decrep you so that he can get the kill, not me, man.
I mean, what a bastard.
It's all good though. Anyway.
Probably shouldn't be using Infest so casually. Because it does have a long cooldown, it does do quite a bit of damage, and I think you would be able to get up to full HP regardless. I don't think that's going to matter too much, but I mean it is quite a long cooldown, and you want to use it to escape, you want to use it to initiate. I don't know who can initiate on this game. I guess you can't really initiate onto anybody. Maybe
we got
Skelly
no
King charges in. Yeah.
Well, we have no bomb really. Like nobody on this team would pick up a blink, and so it's like really I would just use it as a defense thing. I don't know why this guy just like killed himself to death. Like that was just really weird.
That was a feat. Unnecessary rage. Unnecessary.
But it's a reaction, man. It's just like, oh, bad guy. EQ, right click. It's weird, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I probably would have raged too, because I think that's what the difference is between like the pubs and like your semi-pros into like your full pros is like they'll know like I don't need to rage here. Like I can just kill. We can just kill this guy. This guy is kind of mana dependent, and it's important. And right now you're getting Static Storm. I think you're going to not be okay. It looks like you're gonna die.
I was eating the full Witch Doctor ult. Kind of hurt my feelings there, man.
Yeah, you got owned. What could you have done there? Not a whole lot, I don't think.
Probably anticipating the storm and just raging to run away.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, whenever something happens and rage is off cooldown, like, you're gonna say, oh, I could have raged there. But other than that, like,
yeah.
I mean, you could have raged there and you probably would have lived because you would have been able to run out of kinetic and you would have probably been able to survive.
Yeah, maybe even kill somebody. Who knows? Probably not.
No,
That
probably
that
just
taunt would have grabbed me for sure. But I don't know why I picked up this stout shield or poor
yeah.
man shield.
Why'd you get a permanent shield?
I don't know. I just do things like that sometimes. Maybe I felt some auto attack mitigation, but who knows, man? Honestly, it's like again, it goes back to that whole just default thing. Like I normally go this build like poor man's drums phase, and then just wreck face, get kills until armlet, and then win the game. You know, pretty much. It's how I like to play Lifestealer.
I like how you recognize because you first ran. You ran for about like 0.25 seconds, and then realize, oh wait, I have rage, and then you turn on and you went immediately back in. That's good. You recognize that, you know, I'm still like I have rage, and they're diving, and like what can they do to stop me? They dropped a
Yeah.
warlock ultimate, but that's it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, like what I was saying earlier, like certain heroes, like I know what I can do. I know the hero. Whereas some heroes, like I'm still not 100% of like the damage output or like what I can do with that hero in that situation. Like when it comes to doing damage, I know like how Lifestealer's damage works. So it's like I know what I can do and I know what I can survive. But like say like with Shadow Fiend and stuff, yeah, I know he does a lot of damage, but like I don't know in totally yet the situations I can live with, right? But yeah, I was a little sad to in this game though. I honestly thought we might have like fallen behind because our SK was kind of slow on his farm, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, you're still doing stuff. Maxed feast, that's fine. I mean, like in this game, I think the only criticism I could really offer is that you picked up phase boots and you weren't being aggressive in the lane. But other than that, like this is can't really criticize too much of the Lifestealer. I mean, I think that's still important though, because when you get phase boots, you should play aggressive.
Yeah, no, you're right. I probably could have definitely killed that disruptor. I probably definitely could put a lot more pressure on Lone Druid to like be afraid to even like try and get a last hit. Like as soon as he hit 6 or 7, like he popped bear form and I think he was afraid that I might have gone on him. I probably would have if he wasn't in bear form. I probably would have gone on him a lot more, and just like probably just like drilled his head in all day. But I think now I'm gonna start roaming a little bit.
One thing you can do, because you're playing with friends, is that when they TP, you just invest in them, so you don't have to use your own TP. Because that saves
Good
you
call.
135
Good call.
gold.
I never even thought of that. That's a good call, man.
I mean, like, it might be seen as a waste to invest, but, like, if you're going to the same lane anyways, then, you know, like, you might as well save yourself a bit of gold and just invest, because that's something you can do. It's very, very good. Oh, I think you were trying to save the rage, and you just unfortunately waited a little. You waited a little bit too long, but you're gonna get the kill regardless. And now you guys are looking control. Pop the drums, nice. Going to work. Gonna get the open Zulans up as soon as it cools down, but it's level 1, so it's long cooldown, which is fine. Gonna go to work on Warlock because he's at full HP. Run back and forth. Go to work on Lone Druid. Yeah, I mean, like, you're playing this fine. You scrambled a bit, but, like, I mean, I think that was understandable. I think Warlock might have juked you in the fog, might have bit. I think Warlock ran to a fogged place, and then you're like, oh, Lone Druid's an easier target since my teammates are there. I think that was your rationale.
Well, I saw Warlock there. I'm like, you know what? I could kill this Warlock, but then I'm like, you know what? Lone Druid, higher priority. So I switched back, and I'm like, my team's here to help me, so they can't really do anything to bother me right now. So I'll just stay in the front and be a menace while my team picks who they're going to end up killing, and then they ended up going for the Lone Druid. So I was like, let's finish this guy off. We don't want Lone Druid had Midas, so I don't want him getting out of control, because he will outcarry me if he gets out of control.
It depends. I think Lifestealer does really good against Lone Druid.
Yeah, with his health scaling and stuff, right? Like, yeah, like he can definitely stay up, but I just say that I've had experience against like an equally farmed Lone Druid, and he'd 1v1 me. It's not even fair. Maybe my item build was lacking at the time, but you know what? You live and learn, right?
Yeah. One thing you can improve on is the rage reaction. I mean, like if he's casting a stun, might as well just rage it. Well, it depends. Yeah, the Ogre had Arcane Boots. Yeah, you could have raged it. Because he had full mana anyway, so that was fine. You pop drums.
I wasted a drum charge.
That's fine. I mean, like, you know, that was a mistake, and mistakes happen. Like, you're probably not going to do that again, and now you're going to work. Didn't use the rage because you were stuck in the silence. That's fine. You do have the rage, though, so I think you could probably go back in. So, You recognize that? You're going back in. You guys are owning. Oh yeah, another thing I want to mention is that I think you might be using Infest to heal yourself a little bit too liberally. I think Infest
I
is...
could live right there if I had it off cooldown. Just jump
Yeah,
into a creep and then live.
you could
Yep.
do that. Also, like, even your auto attacks, you heal a lot of life from the neutrals, especially with an SK who has Lifestealer Aura level 1. Even level 1 gives you a decent amount of life. So if you just attack that big creep in the jungle rather than infest it, you wouldn't have gotten back all the HP, sure, but you would have gotten enough where you could have taken the fight, and then you would have infest to perhaps escape or get a bit of extra nuke damage. So
Yeah.
I think that's like 2 times that you've used infest to just get yourself HP, and that's good. But I don't know if it's the best way to go about it, unless like you're really low and you want to get right back into the
Well,
fight.
that second time it cost me my life.
Yeah, really low and you want to get right back into the fight, or you know there's not going to be a fight, so you might as well just heal up or get instant gold. So yeah, infest is an interesting ultimate with a lot of weird usages. It's kind of an unconventional ultimate, but I mean, it is sort of useful to know when you should use it and when you should not. And
That's right. Yeah.
it's very, very subjective, I think.
Uh, it's when you're saying a concept of like getting health back, right? You're definitely correct. Like I could have easily just like auto attacked that Owlkin and probably gained like similar to if not more, and then just auto attack.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten more. You would probably have gotten like maybe 20% less, 30% less.
Yeah, but then move into the lanes and just auto attack the creeps. With,
Yeah.
with the wave there, right? And then I would have had infest, and I probably could have killed Lone Druid and stayed alive, and have my armlet by now. So little things like that, they do definitely, when looking in retrospect, definitely see how they can change the flow. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, with Lifestealer, you sort of have to focus on little things because his game plan is pretty much the same in every game. You get
Yeah.
farm, and then you right-click shit. Like,
Yeah. Pro right clicks, man.
yeah, I mean, you sort of have to focus on the nuances because other than that, like, if you don't focus on it, then he's sort of a basic hero. But I mean, like, other than that, like, not much to say. As
Oh, Axe scary. Yeah, Eric, Axe got scared.
Yep, blinked out. He was in the fog, hard to react to that. Witch Doctor, Bloodlust, going to work, gonna pop the rage, good, otherwise gonna stun you, gonna run through the connect field. Or just gonna infest creep. With rage you can run through the connect field, I think.
Really? I honestly thought
Magical
it was, like,
immunity,
some
you can run through
crazy
connect
wall.
field. Yeah,
Yeah,
magic
yeah.
immunity you can definitely run through connect field. That's
Oh,
why
See, I didn't know
that's
that.
why
I didn't
actually
know
you
that.
don't see much disruptor because of Nyx. Just because of Nyx, you don't see much disruptor.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. I might have to just test it out really quick. We'll see. Well, that one.
I might actually, like, the next game I play, or I might talk to my buddy and be like, "Yo, let's make a public and test this out," because that would make sense to the whole drafting thing. Because like, I look at Disruptor sometimes and I'm like, why don't people pick this guy?
Yeah,
You know?
he's really good. He's
AoE
kind of
silence, glimpse.
yeah, he's kind of a shit tri-laner and tri-lane's the meta, but other than that, like, he's a ridiculous team fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the next team fight pretty carefully just to see if I'm correct. I know you can't force staff out of it, but I'm pretty sure you can use magical immunity. Yeah, you've got it, cause like I've seen people run out with BKB all the time. Come on, pop your rage, try to run through it. Come on, do it. Aw.
I'll try next time. I'm gonna ask my buddy to make a public game next chance I get, and what's it called? Just to try it out, because that just seems interesting.
So kill the middle, gonna switch to top. Bottom tower gonna get owned. Finish the armlet, gonna teleport back by yourself, that's fine. Gonna get the tower deny. Yeah, I mean, like, I think you're doing everything you can do at this point in the game. It's fine.
Well, when I play carries, I'm in the mindset. I'm like, okay, I'm a Lifestealer. When my buddies are roaming, I'll go roam with them. When they're hanging around, I'm gonna go farm. And like I usually try and, like, as I'm moving with Lifestealer, try and get farm. If I'm in their jungle, I'm gonna look for kills. But like if I'm just down on my lane, like, you know what, I'm gonna like right now I'm like, I'm just gonna split push. I'm just gonna hang out around.
Yeah,
You guys-
I mean, that's a good philosophy with most carries. Like,
Yeah.
you look for farm whenever possible, and if your team needs it, you look for fight. Of course, that doesn't work with some carries who are extremely shit in the early game, but Lifestealer is good at all stages, so I think it's a really good philosophy.
Yeah. See, I've always wondered, I wondered about this, and maybe you can comment on this too. Is like, Lifestealer, I don't know. Personally, I feel he's relatively remained unchanged since he's been released, and it's just like he shows up. To me, I felt like he showed up out of nowhere, and it's like this guy is like first pick, first ban, or like for a while now, and it's like he's not different. He's the same.
Well, that's pretty interesting because there has been some changes. I think the metagame for a large portion is focused on AoE damage, which Leicester obviously does not do any of, and sort of late game builds, whether it be a Morph, who can be extremely survivable in the late game. Leicester, of course, is really survivable, but like Morph, Medusa, things like that. Late game DPS is really, really high, of course. But Lifestealer did get buffed. He had the infest damage added. That was not always the case. He couldn't always infest allies or his teammates. He could only infest creeps for the most part. The damage wasn't always there. I think the damage AoE was also buffed. And Rage, I think, capped out around 4.5 or just 4 seconds.
I think Rage is 6 seconds now?
Yeah, Rage is 6 seconds.
Yeah,
but
so
like,
that is a huge difference, because BKB is 5 seconds, and Rage is 6.
Yeah,
so that's huge.
Lowest duration of BKB is 5.
Yeah.
But I mean, when Lifestealer was really popular, like I think 6.67, something like that. I might be bullshitting the version, but he was really popular. And then they nerfed Open Wound, so it doesn't have a mini stun. They made the slow a little bit worse. I think
Open Wounds had a mini stun. Wow.
Open Wounds had a mini stun.
I didn't play Lifestealer back then.
And I think the slow was a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
And I think Rage might have been nerfed, maybe, I don't know, something like that, but they rebuffed him, and now he's really strong.
Yeah, no, he's definitely awesome. I love this guy. Like, I used to actually exclusively jungle or lane, and I would go Treads, Midas, Armlet.
Yeah, dude, you just walked out of the Connect field because you had Rage.
I did!
Yep.
I saw that! Oh!
Yep, so that's something else to keep in mind, and that reaffirms the point that's why Disruptor is not in the competitive scene.
That's not even cool, because like any sort of Magic community, that's like, you're just completely ruining the idea of that spell.
Well, I mean, like, it's only Lifestealer. Otherwise, you have to get a really expensive,
well, I mean, like
4K gold.
Yeah, most people do have BKBs, like, and that's just annoying. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, besides the point, I just got a little bit of excitement there.
Yep. So, just in general on Lifestealer, after Drum's Armlet, what do you usually go? You go for
after Drum's Armlet. I think right now I'm going AC.
Yeah.
Because I can. But so if I'm up against like a really harder carry, I'll go like for Abyssal, because if I have Armlet that quick, like say 15 minutes, 16 minutes, I'll kind of either keep ganking and try and win. But if I see like we really crush them and my other lanes are winning too, I'll go for Abyssal, just so I can like kill that carry in the Open Wounds in the Rage. Like, he's gonna die because he's gonna get Open Wounds, he's gonna get Rage, he's gonna get stunned, then he's gonna get what's it called? Probably Bash proc.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like
yeah, I mean, that's definitely a way to look at it. I just was wondering because I don't know if this is a flowchart build that you do or if it changes.
No, well, harder carries, I actually sometimes go for the like, say if I'm up against like a Void, or if I'm up against like an SK who's doing well, or like this Lone Druid went jungle or top and I couldn't like deal with him, I'd probably go like for like a Deso, just to like have like higher like hits on the feast, or like forego the treads and go, or forego the phase and go for a more late game build like treads into Armlet, and then try to out farm him a little bit faster with like the advantage of feast. But I don't know, sometimes that doesn't work out for me. He still maintains his farm, and I didn't put on mid game pressure.
So Lifestealer is not one of your flowchart heroes. It seems like you have a lot of.
Lifestealer definitely is. When it comes to abilities, like where I like sometimes just like Open Wounds Rage, that's sometimes just me like I'm thinking like min-maxing DPS, right? But really sometimes, like how you mentioned before, if I saved my mana I could Open Wounds the guy and kill them, right? But with Lifestealer though, I definitely like think of, I already have a plan on like the items I'm gonna get against this team. You know what I mean? And I was thinking like, you know what, I'm against Lone Druid, against, and I don't want him pushing. I don't want him pushing on us. I want to push on him, kill him faster. He's gonna be tanky. I want to help out my team, so and to push, like, cause you can't out push. Like if they have Axe Initiation, they have Warlock ult, and they have Lone Druid. Like it's hard to push on that. But then I realized, like, where's their damage? You know what I mean? Like really, where's their damage?
Yeah, it's not really a burst heavy team. It's more of a win the fight over time, but if you just burst them down, then it's hard for them to do that.
Yeah. So this game was pretty quick, and
yeah. I mean, it was still pretty useful. Like, yeah.
I definitely learned a lot though about like min-maxing spells with Lifestealer, because honestly, like I didn't think I could have killed that Disruptor, or like saving the mana for the rage, knowing when to rage. Like don't just rage after open wounds. Like you can rage to stop the stun, so you can get the open wounds. You know, things like that, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, very informative. Definitely with the mid rolls, because like the whole idling has definitely been a problem, and I'm definitely gonna be thinking about that now, especially coming from you when you're saying that to me, that you notice me idling a lot, and that's very informative for me.
Okay, so
that.
I think that should be good for now. It's been
Definitely it's good. Definitely good.
2 hours and 20 minutes, hopefully.
Oh, shit. That's a long time. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot as always.
No
Hopefully
problem.
you enjoyed
Man.
that.
I appreciate it.
Yep. All right. I'll talk to you later, dude. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Peace.